She's not a mom. Viral video exposes Meghan Markle in disturbing scene with Archie. What really happened in that kitchen? By the time you finish this article, one question will echo in your mind. What is going on behind the palace walls? A shocking video and a broken illusion. What if the picture-perfect image of motherhood was nothing more than a well-orchestrated performance? That's the gut-punching question on everyone's lips after a disturbing video allegedly showing Meghan Markle yanking little Archie Harrison and hurling a pair of glasses in his direction went viral. Released by someone who claims to have once been their trusted nanny, the footage, blurry but chilling, has shaken royal fans, critics, and casual observers alike. But is it real? Or another cleverly edited smear campaign? Either way, what this controversy reveals is bigger than one shocking video. It reveals cracks in the carefully curated fairy tale. And people are talking. A lot. So let's dive into the kitchen, not just literally, but metaphorically, where the royal cookies are crumbling. The moment that rocked the internet. What's in the video? The clip opens with a thud, glass hitting tile. Then a child's startled whimper. The camera shakes. Meghan's voice rises in frustration. "You never listen, Archie," she allegedly says. A shadowy figure, presumed to be Meghan, pulls the child backward by his arm and storms off frame. Was it discipline gone too far? A moment of frustration captured unfairly? Or is it something much, much darker? The alleged nanny, who released the footage anonymously to a celebrity gossip site, claimed this wasn't a one-time event. It was one of many, she wrote in a now-deleted blog post. She described Meghan as performative in public, hostile in private. And if you're wondering, why would anyone leak something like this? She says she had to.
For Archie.
But here's the twist. There's more to this than just a video. Behind closed doors, what former staff say about life with Meghan. When the nanny's post went viral, so did the whispers. Former palace staff started speaking in hushed, anonymous tones. One ex-housekeeper who worked in Frogmore Cottage claimed Meghan had anger issues and once threw a teacup at a wall when she didn't get what she wanted for breakfast. Okay, we've all had rough mornings. But teacups flying? That's extra. Another staff member, who left just before Harry and Meghan moved to the US, said, "She wasn't abusive. But she wasn't nurturing either. It was all about the cameras. Everything had to look perfect. Including Archie." This obsession with optics, something even Prince Harry himself hinted at in his memoir Spare, suggests a deeper pressure at play. But could this pressure lead someone to snap? Let's explore the uncomfortable possibility. Picture perfect pressure, the burden of being Meghan. Let's be real. Being a mom is hard. Being a mom in the public eye? Brutal. Now add the title of Duchess, a royal feud with your in-laws, global media watching your every move, and a husband battling his own past trauma. It's a perfect storm. Meghan has often spoken about how motherhood transformed her, but also how isolating and overwhelming it's been. In that infamous ITV interview, her voice trembled as she said, "Not many people have asked if I'm okay." Is it possible the very pressure to seem like supermom is what broke her? In many ways, this makes her story relatable. Haven't we all snapped at our kids in a moment of exhaustion? Haven't we all felt like we were failing, no matter how good our Instagram feed looked? And it's a big but, there's a difference between a bad moment and a pattern of behavior. And that's what makes this story so sticky. What about Harry? Where was he? This is the million-dollar question. Because Prince Harry has always portrayed himself as the protector, the man who would never let his family go through what his mother endured. So where was he when all this went down? Some sources say Harry was upstairs during the glass-throwing incident. Others say he walked in shortly after and didn't say a word. Was he complicit? Overwhelmed? Or completely unaware? Absolutely. Let's keep going by diving deeper into the ripple effect of this scandal and how it ties into Meghan Markle's ongoing image war in Hollywood and beyond. Hollywood hates a hypocrite. The celebrity fallout. Here's where things get spicy. In the days following the video leak, several Hollywood insiders reportedly distanced themselves from Meghan Markle. You know, the same folks who once clinked champagne glasses with her at Soho House?
Now?
Radio silence. A source close to a former A-list friend said, "Nobody wants to be associated with a scandal like that, especially not when there's a child involved."
Oof.
And to make matters worse, Meghan was said to be in talks to join a new women-focused Netflix docuseries aimed at redefining motherhood in the modern world. Awkward. With this new narrative emerging, executives are allegedly reconsidering. Because let's face it, when you market yourself as a champion of female empowerment, wellness, and modern parenting, you can't have a scandal that screams the opposite. But this isn't just about brand deals. It's about reputation. And in Hollywood, once that starts to crumble, it's a long road back up. So, what's Meghan's next move? The PR damage control machine is in overdrive. Like clockwork, sources close to Meghan began flooding tabloids with counter-narratives. She's a victim of a smear campaign. She's being targeted for standing up against the monarchy. Parenting is hard, and she's under a microscope. While those things can be true, it's also clear the Markle PR machine is in damage control mode. Within 48 hours, Meghan was photographed hugging Archie at a beach in Santa Barbara. Sunlight, soft smiles, perfect lighting. A little too perfect. Critics slammed the images as staged and manipulative. Supporters argued that it showed Meghan's attempt to stay strong and positive for her children. One fan even posted, "How would you look if someone filmed your worst parenting moment and broadcast it to the world?"
Fair.
But it leads us to a bigger question. What does redemption look like for Meghan Markle? Redemption Road. Is it possible? Let's not sugarcoat it. This scandal is damaging. Not just to Meghan, but to her family, her future projects, and most of all, to Archie. But here's the thing. The internet loves a comeback. We've seen celebrities bounce back from far worse. Looking at you, Robert Downey Jr. So what would it take for Meghan to earn back the public's trust? Transparency, acknowledging mistakes, if real, goes a long way. A heartfelt interview, or even a documentary-style reflection could humanize her in a way nothing else has. Private parenting help. Getting support doesn't make someone weak. It makes them responsible. Imagine the impact if Meghan spoke openly about seeking parenting counseling or stress therapy. That's real. That's powerful. Public focus on Archie. Genuinely putting the child first, not just in PR photos but in actions, would show a new side of Meghan the world could rally behind. Could she pull it off? Time will tell. But one thing's for sure, everyone loves a redemption arc, especially when kids are involved. The royal family's silence speaks volumes. Meanwhile, back in the UK, Buckingham Palace hasn't uttered a word about the viral footage. And honestly, that silence is louder than a press release. Sources close to royal insiders say King Charles and Prince William were deeply disturbed by the rumors. But publicly, nothing.
Zip. Why?
Because for the royals, commenting on Meghan's parenting drama would make it their problem. And that's a fire they're not eager to fuel. However, one royal commentator noted that this scandal could reignite conversations about custodial rights. Yes, you read that right. Under centuries-old UK law, the monarch technically has guardianship rights over royal grandchildren, even those living abroad. That includes Archie and Lilibet. Could this controversy cause the palace to step in? Unlikely. But stranger things have happened in Windsor. A deeper conversation about parenting under pressure. Let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about Meghan Markle. This is about how we as a society treat parents, especially moms, under intense scrutiny. How many mothers have had private meltdowns, only to wake up the next morning riddled with guilt and shame? How many feel like they're constantly failing because of unrealistic standards, celebrity Pinterest boards, or the highlight reels we see online? Maybe the real lesson here is this. Perfection is a myth. Parenting is messy, beautiful,
Exhausting.
life-altering. And sometimes, yes, it brings out our worst selves. But when we open up about the mess, we allow others to breathe easier. We allow healing. And whether or not Meghan Markle chooses that path, we all should. Final call. Let's talk about it. All right, your turn. You've heard the rumors. You've read the accounts. You've probably watched that video or at least caught a glimpse of it in your feed. Now tell me, what do you believe? Do you think Meghan was caught in a bad moment? Or do you believe the nanny's claims go deeper? Do you think Meghan deserves to be cancelled or counseled? Absolutely. Let's take this home with more emotionally compelling storytelling, a little intrigue, and an empowering conclusion that leaves readers reflecting long after the last sentence. What about Archie, the forgotten voice in the noise? Let's pause for a second. In all the chaos, headlines, and finger-pointing, have we stopped to think about the one person who didn't ask for any of this? Archie Harrison, a little boy caught between two worlds. One of royal traditions, palaces, and media legacies. The other, a coastal California existence where his name still makes tabloids spin and strangers whisper. This scandal isn't just about his mother. It's about how fame, dysfunction, and public judgment can ripple down to the most innocent ones. You have to wonder, how does it feel to grow up and eventually Google yourself, only to see headlines like "she's not a mom" and videos of your childhood kitchen chaos? It's unsettling and heartbreaking. That's why this conversation needs to shift from gossip to growth. Because Archie didn't sign up for this storyline. But now, we all have a responsibility to make sure his story gets better from here. Could this be Meghan's rock bottom and turning point? Every great character arc has a rock bottom. A moment where it seems everything is lost. This could be Meghan's. The critics are louder than ever. Friends are backing away. Hollywood is reevaluating. And the public? Deeply divided. But if this is her lowest point, then there's nowhere to go but up. Imagine the Meghan Markle who comes forward not as a duchess, but as a woman willing to say, "I messed up. I let stress and ego get the best of me. But I'm learning and growing. And here's how I'll do better for my kids and for myself." That Meghan? People would listen. Because vulnerability is the real power play. And in a world craving authenticity, owning our worst moments can become our greatest strength. Parenting in the public eye. When your mistakes go viral. Let's not pretend Meghan's situation is common. Most of us can mess up in private, apologize, and move forward. But when you're